Eduardo Camavinga's name has suddenly become the headline that could decide how Real Madrid finishes this transfer window, and the shock isn't that a Saudi club made an enormous offer, it's that the 22-year-old turned it down flat. Reports from multiple outlets confirm that a very strong proposal landed on the table, but that Camavinga's immediate priority is rehabilitation and fighting his way back into the Madrid side rather than cashing out to the Middle East. That choice lands like a thunderbolt in a market where money talks louder than ever, and it tells you everything about the player's mindset right now and the tricky tactical choices his club faces as the deadline looms. Just months ago, Camavinga was being spoken about as one of Europe's most exciting midfield prospects, the kind of athletic, intelligent box-to-box engine managers dream of. But injuries have interrupted that ride. A recent ankle problem kept him on the sidelines at a delicate moment in pre-season and early campaign play, and instead of weighing the temptation of a massive payday, he has reportedly chosen to focus on recovery, fitness work, and reclaiming momentum at the Bernabeu. That matters not just emotionally but practically. Real currently rely on Aurelien Tchouameni as a midfield linchpin, and while Camavinga sometimes drifts into different roles, his presence as either a direct backup or tactical alternative gives head coach options that money cannot instantly replace. From a squad-building perspective, Camavinga's decision preserves Real's depth when it counts. If he had accepted, the club would have lost a versatile, relatively young midfielder who can play a double pivot, press the opposition, and add energy late in matches. In a season that will test Real across multiple competitions, depth is currency. Perhaps not the headline-grabbing kind offered by Saudi clubs, but the kind that matters in the long run. For supporters, the image of a young player choosing recovery and competition over a transfer that promises riches paints Camavinga as hungry and ambitious rather than mercenary, and that narrative plays very well in Madrid's tifos and locker room expectations. On the other hand, the refusal sparks questions across Europe. Manchester United and other clubs have been linked intermittently with Camavinga over the summer, and his stance makes the end-of-window chess game more interesting. Clubs who were hoping to pry him away will now have to reassess their approach. Do they double down with a new offer, pivot to other targets, or accept that the Frenchman wants to fight for his place? For Real Madrid's negotiating stance, the message is clear. You don't sell young talent cheaply when they want to stay and the squad still needs them. That gives real leverage in any hypothetical conversation and forces potential buyers to rethink price and persuasion tactics. There's also the larger cultural subplot. Football is in an era of mega offers and headline transfers to Saudi Arabia that transform careers overnight, and a young player publicly saying a not yet is a different type of story. It highlights a tension between instant financial reward and sporting ambition, and Camavinga's decision will resonate with fans who always enjoy a player choosing the badge over cash. Whether that choice will convert into guaranteed playing time is another matter. Coaches make decisions based on form, fitness, and tactics, but the intent is clear and the optics are powerful, so what should viewers watch for next? First, the progress of Camavinga's recovery. Training updates and medical reports will tell us if his return to match fitness is on schedule. Second, the squad lists and selection choices in the immediate fixtures. Will he be eased back or thrown into competitive action as cover? Third, any movement in the final hours of the window. If suitors come back with improved bids, will the player's stance hold? Finally, the reaction from the club and manager, public and private signals from Real will reveal whether Camavinga's long-term project at the club is as secure as his refusal suggests. At the heart of this story is a young player taking a stand, rejecting an enormous offer at a time when many would jump at the chance, and instead betting on himself, his recovery, and the dream of success in Europe's most prestigious white shirt. That gamble doesn't guarantee a happy ending, but it gives Real Madrid a player willing to fight for his place. And in a season where margins are tiny, that could be worth far more than any one-time transfer check.